Om Narayan. स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Bhagavad Gita. We are in the second chapter. Before entering into the proper Bhagavad Gita, let us chant from the meditation verses of Bhagavad Gita. Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhita Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. In the 25th verse of the second chapter, Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna about why we should not worry, we should not grieve. So explained about what is worry, what is grieving. And in all these verses, Lord Krishna was trying to explain it to Arjuna from the highest standpoint of philosophy, talking about our true nature, Atman, Paramatman, Parabrahman. But now, Lord Krishna is coming down to the earthly level. He is now hypothetically telling Arjuna in this verse, okay, let us hope that you don't believe that Atman is eternal or you will die and there ends the matter. So, even then, if you think from that standpoint, even then you should not worry. You don't have the authority to worry. You cannot worry. Whatever angle you think of, whether from the highest standpoint of Atman, if Atman is true, always eternal, it will never die, then even then you should not worry. Suppose Atman is going to die, we are all going to die, even then, what is the use of worrying? I gave you a nice formula in the last session. I will take you through that formula again. What is that? Do you have a problem in life? No? Then why worry? Okay. Do you have a problem in life? Yes. Can you do something about it? Yes. Then why worry? Do you have a problem in life? Yes. Can you do something about it? No. Then why worry? So now we will be taking this standpoint. Do you have a problem in life? Yes. Can you do something about it? No. Then why worry? Yes, suppose you think that this body is going to die and there ends the matter. There is no Atman, there is nothing permanent. It ends, everything ends there. Then why worry? You can't do anything, then why worry? So, from all the standpoints, whichever standpoint you take, Lord Krishna is again and again telling us, you don't have the authority to worry. One of our members who will attend the Bhagavad Gita class, after so much of last time and the other last time talking about you should not worry, Krishna is telling not to worry. And he told, Swamiji, I'm worried about it. I told, I talk to you about not to worry all the time. And now you're telling I'm worried about it. Please use the word, I'm concerned. Do not use the word worry. Because this worrying happens impulsively. You get into that mode of worry because it is not under your control. It is not well thought of. But concern is well thought of. That's why you can use the word concern. I'm concerned. Because when you worry, you cannot do anything out of it. But if you are concerned, you will find a problem to that. Because every problem in this universe has a solution. Anything for that sake has a solution. We have to use our brain. God has given us the thinking capacity. Animals do not have that thinking capacity, discerning capacity. That's why they can't think, they are impulsive. Yes, we can understand it. But God has given us the capacity to think, understand, and discern. So we are not using it. That's why all the problems. So we have sufficient intelligence and wisdom. If we just use our brains and think a little, you can see every problem there is a solution. Because we don't think, we are impulsive, we are worrying. Worrying also makes you, it will block your mind. I'm going to take up maybe in the next class about that. I told that I will be taking up in future what is the cause of the worry. Again, whole of Bhagavad Gita gist is in that. According to Bhagavad Gita, the very first chapter, what is the very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna's despondency. Arjuna started worrying. That is the whole first chapter. So, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So, if you go on worrying, it's not yoga. But Arjuna turned that despondency or worry towards the great Guru or great Avatar Krishna, so that worry got transformed into yoga. If you turn your worry towards God, then that will be transformed into yoga. That's why the very first chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. The yoga of Arjuna's despondency. How can that be yoga? So that's why here in the first chapter, the whole first chapter is telling about what is worry. This whole universe, this whole world. I can't call universe. I don't know whether any living beings exist in other part of the world. We know that definitely people are living in this world. So they worry. When there are no other people, I don't know whether there is any mode of worrying and other things. So why does worry come? So again, Vyasa Maharshi in the Bhagavad Gita, he is stating it is because of attachment. Attachment is the cause of worry. So what is attachment in Sanskrit? Ragaha. Ragaha means attachment. What is attachment? What is ragaha? Our dependency, the psychological, the emotional dependency of other human beings on your father, on your mother, on your children, on your wife, on your husband, or on your boss, or anybody for that sake, any person, dependency, psychological, emotional dependency upon any human being or a thing. So that psychological dependence or emotional dependence upon a person or a thing is called attachment. What does it leads to? What is that? What will happen? Why should we not be attached to other people? Because you are Purna. You are Atman. You are infinite. You need not be dependent upon anything at all. Because you are full, you are Purna. Purna Madaha Purna Midam Purnat Purnam Udachyate. You are that infinite being with infinite wisdom, infinite strength. Then why do you need dependency upon anything or any person? So you are wrongly hypnotized to think that you are weak, you are finite, you don't have the strength. So forgetting your true nature, that is Atman, you will start, so you want a leaning, you want a crutch to hold on to, you want to depend upon. So you will think that by taking their help, so I may get fulfillment. Now, all human beings and all things in the world are going to be extinct. It will get destroyed. All human beings have to die. All things have to get destroyed. So now the fear starts from now itself. Doubts, worry. Suppose that person goes away. What will happen? See, my turning towards spiritual life itself was one of that cause. I loved my mother intensely as a small child of 6 or 7. I used to think that the whole world, nobody will die. Everybody will be living happily. Just like at the end of the story, they lived happily here afterwards. We thought that everything will be happily, ending everything there. But when I saw people dying outside, then again I took consolation to myself, telling that only people outside will die. My member of the family, house members, will not die. Then my own Purvashrama or pre-monastic sister died. Then I thought, oh, people in my family also are all going to die. So nobody will leave. Then started the worry. What is that? My mother, whom I loved so much, I thought without her I cannot survive. As a small boy of 6 or 7, I started thinking, how can I survive without my mother? So I used to get up with nightmares and cry. How can I be without my mother? That started the search for spiritual life. That's another story. Let us not go for that. So like that, we have psychological, emotional dependence upon people or things. That is called attachment. And also many a times I've told, there is ocean of difference between attachment and love. We wrongly give a beautiful color or a beautiful name for our own attachment as love. No, it's not so. I will give the difference. I've given that earlier too. I've taken up as a separate chapter, but I will go to that afterwards. So, from this dependency, whereby we feel that we are insecure and we want dependency, we want some crutch, a stick to lean upon others or other things, then out of fear, you'll start imagining they will go away. And sometimes they may go away also, then you'll start worrying. So, ragaha, attachment, leads to shokaha, that is worrying. So, attachment, psychological, emotional dependence upon things or people, it leads to worry, shokaha. Then what will worry lead to? Shokaha will clog, worrying will clog my intellect more. Already my intellect is clogged. It is covered up. It is smudged. So the more you worry, that will still more cover up your intelligence. You can't think properly. You will think right as wrong and wrong as right. Righteous as unrighteousness and unrighteous as righteous. And that is called moha. What is moha? Delusion. So, ragaha, attachment upon things and people, leads to shokaha. That is, shoka means worry. Then worry or despondency, what will happen? It leads to moha. What is moha? Confusion, delusion. So these are this whole world of ours which we are living in is these three diseases, nothing else other than that. You just go on substituting or whatever now in algebra, you will reduce all the equations to the value of x and y. Ramakrishna also reduces the whole universe as nothing but, all this whole world as nothing but kama kanchana. So here, Bhagavad Gita in the first chapter, it is bringing down the whole world which we live in, this samsara, transmigratory existence, as nothing but ragaha, shokaha, mohaha. You find out whether you have something else other than this in this life. Just go, just analyze, sit down and in your life or anybody's life, see whether anything else is there other than this in your life. Attachment, due to attachment, worry, due to worry, delusion, moha. Ragaha, shokaha, moha. This whole world is that. So by studying Bhagavad Gita, you get solution to that. That is what Krishna is telling. So you will not get grief. Do not worry, do not worry, do not worry. That's what Lord Krishna is telling. So many times you have heard now Krishna telling, Nashochitam arhasi, you don't have the capacity, not capacity, you don't have the right to worry, you don't have the authority to worry. You should not worry at all from any standpoint of view. That is what Lord Krishna is telling here. So, worrying will confuse you more, it will lead to more delusion, and you will start seeing wrong as right and right as wrong, and what do you call that, righteous as unrighteous and unrighteous as righteous. That's why now he has to fight. He's a Kshatriya, he's a warrior. The enemies are there attacking. Instead of now fighting and protecting his country and the men, Arjuna is confused. Oh, is my kith and kin, they are my guru. Whoever it might be, it might be your own son. If he's standing on the side of unrighteousness, you have to fight him, you have to punish him. So, intelligence is clogged, confused, despondency. And it went to such an extent, the confusion and delusion and shoka, then such a great warrior, Arjuna, the best warrior of the time, who won over even the gods and other great people, now he's shivering. He couldn't hold his bow and arrow. He couldn't stand. His power of the leg gave away. He sat down. He couldn't stand even. Why? Worry. See what worry leads to? So, confusion. That's why Krishna is taking Arjuna through different layers of explanation to clear his worry, to clear his doubts. So first, it was your permanent nature of your own self. You are that Atman. Now, Krishna comes down in this verse to very practical or this worldly view. What is that worldly view? It is now, he tells, let us chant this verse. What is Krishna telling in this 26th verse? Is coming down in explanation to Arjuna. Let us chant this. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Atha Chainam Nitya Jatam Atha Chainam Nitya Jatam Nityam va manyase mritam Nityam va manyase mritam Tathapi tvam mahabaho Tathapi tvam mahabaho Naivam shochitumarhasi Naivam shochitumarhasi. The very first word Krishna is using is athaha. Now the speciality of Sanskrit language is, according to different context, the same word will mean something else. Here, athaha means however, Arjuna, if, however, ataha, cha and enam, this soul. Nitya Jatam. You can imagine that it will be born again and again, your soul. Constant birth. Nityam, always va, or manyase. You think mritam will be dead again. It will be born, it will be dead. Tatha api, even then, tvam, you, Mahabaho, O mighty armed one. Arjuna is being addressed as mighty armed one, strong Arjuna, because now he's become weak. So by praising, see, this is another psychological point of view of psychology Krishna is using, by which we can learn. When somebody is gone down in the mind strength and he has become very weak, so give them some praise, tell them some good quality of them. By that you can lift up their mind. Whether they are your children or anybody, your students or friends or anybody, when they are weakened their mind due to the worry and other things, they are having problem, praise them a little. What do you lose by telling some good qualities of theirs? We are so stingy, conjuice, that we have poverty for sweet words also. Vachane ka daridrata. There's a wonderful Sanskrit verse. Do you have property of sweet words, good words? You may be having poverty for money, wealth and other things. But there is no poverty for good words, sweet words. Vachane ka daridrata. Is there poverty for sweet words? So praise the person who comes. Do not show their fault always. Praise them. Tell them one or two good words. Then you see how the soul, the Atman will wake up. He will get strength. So here Krishna is praising Arjuna, telling something plus point of his. Oh Mahabaho, mighty armed Arjuna. Mahabaho. Mighty armed Arjuna. Not evam, like this, shochitum, grieve, arhasi, befitting. See, arhasi. It is not befitting you to grieve. O mighty armed Arjuna, see, again he has used the term, you should not worry. Again and again Krishna is telling you should not worry, you cannot worry. It is not befitting, not only to Arjuna, to all of us Krishna is telling. No worrying. So that's why many times I tell, whatever strength you are using, the mental strength to worry, use that to find a solution and do something by which you can come out of it. You are using so much of strength to worry. Instead of doing any work, you just sit and worry. Use that mental strength to find out a solution and put that into action. Then you see you can come out of that worry. But instead we go on worrying and worrying. We don't want to work. So that's why it will lead us to much more confusion, much more delusion. Then again will come procrastination and you can't do anything. So now, if however, Arjuna, you think that this self is subject to constant birth and death, O mighty armed Arjuna, even then you should not grieve like this. You cannot worry like this. Shri Krishna uses the word ataha to indicate that Arjuna may want to believe the other explanation. See, this is the speciality of Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma. Nothing is imposed upon you. Krishna is Bhagavan himself. Now Arjuna is ready to hear. Is not forcing him. He's telling, suppose this is my view. Suppose you don't believe that Atman is real. Let us take another standpoint. It may suit you. So even if you think from this standpoint, suppose you think you are a materialist, you are an atheist who don't believe in Atman, you don't believe in God, even then you should not grieve. See? The speciality of Sanatana Dharma, what Swami Vivekananda tells, the first and foremost condition of spiritual life or religion is liberty, freedom. That's the speciality of Hindu religion. That's the speciality of Sanatana Dharma. It gives you freedom. Take up whatever you want. It allows you to even become an atheist. Atheists are respected as rishis. It's given a place. Materialists are also given a place. Yes, if you believe this, please go on. Swami Vivekananda told, I too, in my youthful days, I tried to become an atheist. But I miserably failed, he tells. Statement of Vivekananda telling, I too tried to become an atheist, but I miserably failed. Oh Hindus, Vivekananda's statement, oh Hindus, you cannot become atheists. Nobody can become an atheist. I told you the reason for that. There was one atheist. So there was a competition. there will be this allocation competition. They will take up two views. What was one? The one view was, yes, I believe in God, and he has to argue his point, that person, that God exists. The other argument of the other party was, God doesn't exist. So he has to prove that. So there was a fierce competition, and who won? Very easy to disprove. So the atheist won in the competition. So there was everybody, they gave because of his beautiful Vakchaturya, that eloquency and beautiful words, all were pleased with the way he argued, and the person who believed in God was defeated. So this person, the atheist, won in the argument, and they rewarded him, gave him a prize. So his relative from his village who had come to hear this competition was very much happy. He came and greeted him and praised him. What a great intelligence you have. The way you argued, my God, it was so good. You won it, really great. You really disproved that person who believed in God, and you proved that God doesn't exist. Oh, there's nothing great in that. What is it's all God's grace. Atheist who didn't believe in God, who argued against the existence of God, when he was praised, what is so great about it? It's all grace of God. So like that, we, many a times, to show off to the people that I'm so intelligent, I'm secular, we pose as if we are atheists. When I was taking care of the educational institution, Ramakrishna Vidyarthi Mandiram, a student home, I used to call so many people so that they get from different fields, and make them talk to our students so that they will get inspired. Some may become scientists, so we would call scientists, sometimes artists, sometimes from the military fraternity, from the Air Force, from the army. So from different fields, walks of life, we used to bring and expose them to the students so that they may get inspiration somewhere. Once we had brought the army people there, through my known sources, they all came, they were inspiring how to join the army, what are the great things in the army, everything they were talking about. Finally, if everything was over, when they would come, we used to arrange for special food and everything to them. There were so many different from different ranks. There was also a very old man who was 70 or something, not 70, something like 60, 65. He was a major. All the others were inferior ranks. So all were very cordial. They spoke very well. After that, I invited them to take food, supper in our Vidyarthi Mandiram, Ramakrishna Vidyarthi Mandiram. All agreed, they were happy to take prasad of Master. But this one major, who was a high-ranking officer and a senior man, he told Swamiji, please don't force me, I don't want to take food. I pleaded him again and again, please take food, it is prasad, all special things, we have prepared special things you have to take. He was very politely refusing. So one of his subordinates, the colonel, who had bought all these people, who was very known to me, he came, Swamiji, don't force him. Let him not take food. Why? What is the reason he is not taking prasad after coming to ashram? I told Swamiji, in the army, this habit, most of them have the habit of taking alcohol. So this major also now is very much into this alcohol habit. So if he doesn't take alcohol, he doesn't get sleep. He should get that intoxication, the kick, they call it the kick. So if he doesn't take alcohol, then he will get problems. So night he will go and take alcohol and go to sleep. Then what is the problem with taking the food? If he takes supper or food, then he will not get, even if he drinks alcohol, he doesn't get the kick. It has to be empty stomach. So he will not. So he is so much dedicated, he is ready to give up prasad, he is ready to give up food for the sake of alcohol. So I told, okay, I'm not going to force. Likewise, people, they want to enjoy materialistic bodily pleasures. If you believe in God, If you have this, then you have to give up this pleasure, or you have to ration it, you have to control it, because there are so many do's and don'ts, you have to follow righteousness. Then if you claim that you are an atheist, you can do whatever you want. That's why, shortly, temporarily, they will act as if they are atheist. Why? They want to enjoy the pleasures of the body and this life. So if you tell that I am an atheist, then nobody will object. If you tell you are a believer in God and if you do all the wrong things, unrighteous thing, then people will attack you. If you tell I am an atheist, I don't care for all these things, nobody will come to you this thing. So they act at this time that we have become atheist. That's all. So Swami Vivekananda is telling, no Hindu can become an atheist. I tried to become one in my youth, but I miserably failed, he tells. So here you can see, even if you take from the standpoint of an atheist, even then you should not worry. What is the thing of the atheist? I told you that Hinduism is so broad in nature. There are rishis, they are given a very high place and they will be allowed to argue and prove their point to the people. Suppose in other religions, the Semitic religions, if you don't agree, if you tell earth is geoid, it is not flat according to their scriptures, then they will skin them or they will guillotine them or they will kill them. Other religion also it will happen, but in Hinduism you can tell whatever you want. But it should be logical. So there are philosophers, they given very high status, they are called Charvakas in Hinduism. It's a philosophy. They are non-believers, atheists. What do they tell? Charvakas, or also they are called Lokayata. In ancient school of Indian materialism, from time immemorial, it is there. It's an example of atheistic schools in the ancient Indian philosophies. Charvakas, they hold direct perception, empiricism and conditional inference as proper source of knowledge. They don't believe scriptures, they don't believe God, they don't believe in anything. What do they embrace? Philosophical skepticism, doubt, reject ritualism. In other words, Charvakas epistemology states that whenever one infers a truth from a set of observation or truth, one must acknowledge doubt. Inferred knowledge is conditional. It was a well-attested belief system in ancient India. So this is the magnanimity and broadness of Hinduism, ancient Sanatana Dharma. They would not persecute them, kill them. They gave the position of the rishis. You could preach. Now, I will tell you their philosophy. You will be wonderstruck to hear their philosophy. What is that? They tell, the Sanskrit shloka they use is, Yavat Jivam Sukham Jivet. Charvaka philosophy is, Yavat Jivam Sukham Jivet. Radang Kratva Ghritam Pibet. Bhasmi Bhutasya Dehasya Punaragamanam Kutaha. Why do you worry? You should not worry. You should not think of the good and bad. By hook or crook, anyway, as long as you live, you should live happily. See, even if you are a materialist, they are telling you should not worry. You should live happily. What is their philosophy? As long as you live happily. How? By hook or crook. Take any amount of loan. Debt. Rinam krutva. Runa means debt. Take any amount of loan. Debt. Don't worry about repaying the loan. They are telling ghee not to be eaten, but you can drink. Means lead a lavish life. Do not worry about repaying the loan. Why? Because once you die, once the body is reduced to ashes, how can it come back? That's your philosophy. So enjoy this life. Make even loan and take debt. Don't worry about repaying the debt. That is their philosophy. Materialism to the core. They were there, they were given a stage to operate and school of thought, and they could go and preach their philosophy. That is the speciality of Hinduism. Any other things they had? Yes, they are telling. Their thing was, there is no world other than this. There is no heaven. There is no hell. The realm of all these gods and heaven are fabricated by stupid impostors. What is their scriptures? Sarva Siddhanta Sangraha, verse 8. See, they have also a scripture. Then the enjoyment of heaven lies in eating delicious food, keeping company of young women or men, whatever. Then using fine cloths, perfumes, garlands, sandal paste. While moksha is, liberation is death. And what is it? Which is cessation of life. When life, breath stops. The wise, therefore, ought not to take pain on account of moksha. Don't worry about liberation. Don't worry. See, even if you are an atheist, you are a charvaka or materialist, even then Krishna is telling, they will also tell you, do not worry. They are telling, enjoy your life. So there is no question of worrying. A fool wears himself out by penances and fasts and worrying, and chastity and other such ordinances are laid down by clever weaklings. That is their philosophy. So now Krishna is trying to convince Arjuna, even if you think so, then what is going to happen? Sri Krishna uses the word ataha to indicate that Arjuna, you may want to believe the other explanation that exists about the nature of the self. These words need to be understood in the context of the philosophical streams existing in India and their divergent understanding about the nature of self. Indian philosophy has historically comprised of 12 schools of thoughts. 6 of these accept the authority of Vedas. So whichever school accepted the authority of Vedas, they were called Astika. That is, believers in Vedas, Astika. Those who did not accept the Vedas, they were called Nastika, atheist. 6 of these accept the authority of Vedas, and hence they are called Astika Darshana. They are Mimamsa, those who believe only in the first part of the Veda, rituals of the Veda, doing Havan, Homa, Yaga, Yagna. Don't worry about all the other things. Just do lot of, tell the mantras of Vedas, do lot of rituals, and get whatever you want. Then you go to heaven. Don't worry about liberation and all the other things. That is Mimamsa. They believe in Vedas and mantras. So they are called Mimamsa, first part of the Vedas. Then Vedanta, end of this thing which is philosophy, which we study, Vedanta. Then Nyaya, logical system. Vaisheshika, there is another system, philosophy. Sankhya, which is the origin of all the other philosophy. Basics is Sankhya, Yoga, Vaisheshika, they all base their philosophy on this Sankhya. So, and Raja Yoga, that one. These are the 6 schools of thoughts. Within each of these, there are more branches. For example, take Vedanta. School of thought are further divided into, you think only 3, but it is 6. What are the 6? Before that, all what you know is Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita. You think so. But there are still 3 more. What are they? The Vedanta school is divided into 6 different thoughts. What are they? Advaita Vedanta, Dvaita Vada, Vishishtadvaita Vada, Vishuddhadvaita Vada, Dvaitadvaita Vada, Achintya Bheda Veda. See, there are so many different philosophies in Vedanta itself. You know who are representing the Achintya Bheda Veda? Who founded this system? Who was the main person? Yesterday something was going on in Durban on the beach, where all of you might have gone there. What is that? Rath Yatra. Who were doing that? ISKCON, International Consciousness, Krishna Consciousness. Okay. Who is the founder? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the founder of this philosophy. What is that? Achintya Bheda Bheda. Shankaracharya was the main propounder of Advaita Vedanta. Vishishtadvaita Ramanujacharya. Dvaita Madhvacharya. So like that, Nimbalaka Acharya. In Gujarat there was one Acharya. So Rajasthan. Now in Bengal, it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who founded this Achintya Bheda Bhedavada. So each of this, now if you take one of them Dvaita, there are still different, so many thoughts in that, schools in that, are further divided. For example, Advaita Vedanta itself is subdivided into Drishti Srishti Vada, Avacheda Vada, Bimba Pratibimba Vada, Vivarta Vada, Ajata Vada, etc. So let us not go into those details. Let it suffice for now that all these are the Astika Darshanas who believe in Vedas. Then I told there are other philosophers who do not believe in God, who do not believe in Vedas. I'm talking about Indian philosophy. Western philosophy is different. Greek philosophy, Roman philosophy. I'm just only talking about Indian philosophy which originated in India. So there are other thought which do not accept the Vedas. They are the remaining 6 schools of Indian philosophy. They do not accept the authority of Vedas. They are called, just now explained, their philosophy, Charvakas. Then the Buddhist. They don't believe in God, Atman or Paramatman or Vedas. Jainism, they don't believe in God. They don't believe in Atman and Vedas. Buddhism, Jainism. Then in Buddhism there are so many schools. Yogacharavada, Madhyamikavada, then Vaibhasikavada, then Sautantrikavada, and Jainism. Each of these has its own explanation of the nature of the Atman. As we studied, Charvakavada states that body itself comprises the self. There is no Atman. Your body is the only other thing. Charvakas even don't believe in mind. They don't accept even mind and intelligence because you don't see it. You don't perceive it. So whatever we don't perceive through our senses, I don't believe it. That is their thing. So Charvaka. So now they state the Buddhist school of thought do not accept the existence of permanent soul and instead maintain that there is a stream of renewed animation from lifetime to lifetime which ensures continuity of individual just like the strobe of light. They don't believe in the permanent Atman. So now Krishna is taking this standpoint. Yes, let us think that Atman or your true self is not permanent. It is having birth and death and it goes on temporarily like this. Even from that standpoint, you should not worry. Because we think that Buddhism came only during Buddhism. That whatever you are seeing, all these schools of thought is from time immemorial. Even before Buddhism, it was there. All these thoughts were there. Only these, Buddha gave a new twist to it. Jainism, Mahavira gave a new twist to it. That's all. You can't tell they are founders. It is there from time immemorial. So hence, Lord Krishna is explaining that even if Arjuna subscribes to this philosophy of renewed animation of the self from lifetime to lifetime, there is still no reason to lament. Why should one not lament? Lord Krishna again explains it in the next verse, the same thing, that you should not worry. Now, I will take you through one beautiful story. What is that story? That how we don't believe in God or we don't believe in the existence of our life afterwards. Just with an example, I'll try to explain it. What is that beautiful parable? I read it long back. I'll take you through that parable. What is that parable? Twins were there in the womb of the mother. In the mother's womb, there were 2 babies. The first baby asked the other. They thought the womb of the mother was their world, nothing else outside. So, do you believe in life after delivery? was the question of one of the baby, the twin, to the other baby. The second baby replied, why? Of course, there has to be something after the delivery. Maybe we are here to prepare ourselves for what we will be later. Then the other baby who doesn't believe in this, like the atheists, they don't believe in God and Atman. So that baby told, nonsense, said the first baby. There is no life after delivery. What would that life be? So this another baby is telling, I don't know, but there will be more light than here. Maybe we will be walking with our legs and eat from our mouths. This baby, the atheist baby, it got angry, told, nonsense, I don't believe in it. Absurd. Walking is impossible. And we eating with our mouths, ridiculous. The umbilical cord supplies nutrition and everything we need. And also umbilical cord is so short. How can you walk? And what is the need of mouth when umbilical cord is supplying everything? Was the argument of the atheist baby. Even then, this baby, the other baby, the second baby insisted, well, I think there is something and maybe it's different than it is here. Maybe we won't need this physical cord or umbilical cord anymore. Then the first baby, atheist baby, replied, nonsense. And moreover, if there is a life, then why has no one ever come back after delivery into the womb? That was the question. Delivery is the end of life. And in the after delivery, there is nothing but darkness and silence and oblivion. It takes us nowhere. Well, I don't know, said the second baby, but certainly we will meet our mother. And she will take care of us. That's my belief. The first baby replied, what? You believe in mother? You actually believe in mother? That's laughable. If mother exists, then where is she now? I don't see mother, so I don't believe in the mother. The second baby told, mother is all around. She is all around us. We are surrounded by her. We are a part of her. It is her that we live. Without her, this world would not and could not exist, said the first baby. Well, I don't see her. So it is only logical that she doesn't exist. According to science, we don't see her, so she doesn't exist. Mother doesn't exist. To which the second baby replied, sometimes when you are in silence and you focus and listen, you can perceive her presence. And you can hear her loving voice calling down from above. Maybe this was one of the best explanation to the concept of God. So, that theory of atheism is something like that. So, now whatever you think, whichever from the standpoint of atheism, materialist, or from the permanency of your soul, you should not worry. You don't have the fitness to worry. You don't have the authority to worry. That is what Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, and through Arjuna is telling all of us. So, in the next class, I'll try to take up that, shoka, that is ragaha, shokaha, mohaha. What are they? The syndrome. In biological term or medical term, syndrome is many diseases together. If it comes to you, it's called a syndrome. So here, this is the three diseases of this world. What is that? Attachment. Shokaha is grieving, sorrow, worrying, and delusion. This is whole of samsara. We have to come out of it. So that is what the first chapter discusses about. We'll go somehow, because in the next verse too, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you should not worry, you should not worry. Why? He goes on explaining. We will go to that in the next class today, because we have already completed the time. It is just exactly 8 o'clock. So we will chant a verse from the meditation on Bhagavad Gita and end our meditation on Lord Krishna's wonderful ideas of Bhagavad Gita. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।